Kelly, thanks for joining me. I'll be starting in a few moments. Good evening to all y'all folks on Facebook Live. This is your boy, the Controversial Counselor, from the Controversial Counseling Corner. Tonight's topic will be, is social media the devil? So we'll talk about different layers as far as that. The show will be getting ready to start shortly. Michelle Cox, how you doing? Nikki Johnson, thanks for joining us. The show will be starting, like I said, in a few minutes. We'll grab y'all some popcorn, a nice cold beverage, and get ready to, enjoy some adult conversation. So what y'all think, ladies, so far who's watching? Do y'all think social media is the devil? Or the people that's on it are the devil? Hey, what's your name? Swandanetta Honey, Reed Griffin, thanks for joining. For some it's empowerment, for others it's delusional. Yeah, I can agree with that, definitely. I think it's all about your mental capacity, your purpose for being on it. You know me, I like to stir the pot, but basically my point of being on it is just, building my brand. Prior to that, it took me years and years before I even decided to get on it. We're about to go live in a few minutes. I mean, live our studio time. Arthur Hill, Mr. Clean, what's going on, big homie, big bro? Ebony Swanson, how you doing? Andrew Jackson, all my North Avenue people is checking in. That's love right here. seconds. Okay, good people. I'm back. This is your boy, David Glover, aka the Controversial Counselor, and I'm live on wmskonlineradio.com, the home of the Cheryl Underwood radio station. Also, check us out on YouTube. So you can go on YouTube, put in WMSK Online Radio, and then you can subscribe to my show, The Controversial Counselor's Corner. All right, tonight's topic will be, is social media the devil? And I know that's deep, but before we get into the topic area, I really don't have much to update you on other than, the summer's flying by. Still working over the summer, just, grinding, trying to get things ready for the school year. And it's amazing how this time goes by so fast, but it seems like any other time, the first couple months seems to drag, but in the summertime, it just flies by. So, I'm fighting time as far as that, but we know that time doesn't stand still. What else we got on here? Tamika McIntosh, how you doing? So, and that's pretty much, sometimes things that come through cross my mind, any other hot topics that I want to discuss, but we're going to get into this topic area. And tonight we're going to kind of bounce all over the place, but I guess the main theme is going to be is social media, the devil. So let me, go into that. There are many people who utilize Facebook and other social media outlets for business purposes, connecting with friends and family, and day-to-day social purposes. But on the other hand, social media can destroy relationships, family dynamics, friendships. So many people are misrepresenting who they truly are for social approval and acceptance. People don't respect privacy, so when you open up to share to the world, you allow the world to open up and critique you're good, you good, bad, or indifferent. I'm a firm believer that you have to keep people guessing. Never let them see you sweat or know every move you make. So tonight we're going to kind of talk about that. And like I said, we're going to be all over the place, kind of just posts that I posted throughout the week leading up to it. And some of the themes of what I'm talking about, like I told you before, I'm an avid reader, and I try to bring other people's insight, and then with a twist of me as the controversial counselor to the table. So, I've been reading over this book. It's called The New Rules, the Dating Do's and Don'ts for the Digital Generation. And let's be honest, people. Let me finish it. It's from the best-selling author of The Rules, Ellen Fine and Sherry Schneider. Let's be honest. We're in the digital age of dating. As much as you don't want to think about it. How you doing, Stephanie Brown, Michelle D, Keto, what's going on, family? We're in the digital age, despite how you feel about it. Because if you think about it, everything is through, people are meeting through social media on the rapid page, you're joining these different dating sites, Plenty of Fish, I don't know, Black Planet, Tango Chat. It's just amazing. And you know how they get y'all is when you're up late at night, and that's when you typically, see those commercials. You're rolling around, can't sleep, and then they have those seductive ads come on, and then you're sitting there, oh shoot, let me get a pen, writing down the number, and there you go. Next thing you know, you're creating profiles, and you're, trying to build your brand or reinvent yourself through, these digital type of chat lines. But even so with other things that which makes it more digital. There's more people texting. You probably spend more time texting or Facebook, was it FaceTiming folks. So there's a lost art of just regular communication on the telephone. How many of you can honestly say that you could spend just talking on the phone to someone for like an hour, 2 hours? Our attention span is so low. You remember, and I've probably mentioned it before, back in the days, you would be on the phone, you would be on your little cheap Conair phone, those pink phones. My sister had one that she thought was sacred, didn't want any of us to touch it when she got from Faze or Ecker. It had the little bells in it, you shake it, horrible phone. But you'll be on those phones for 2 hours and you were really getting to know people. You were telling stories about, your past, and you were, you know, really talking. And that was more so when you were younger. It seemed like when we were, you barely would give even somebody you're with. I mean, especially if you're not living with them, they may get 20 minutes of talk time on the phone, and the rest of the time they be using some digital format, whether it's texting, messaging. And this is the world that we live in. And one of my boys had said it years and years ago when he was trying to break through, and he was saying, "Man, I gotta, get off of Facebook, man. It's the devil, man. You lose focus. You don't do what you're supposed to do." And that's how it has become in so many ways. Yo, Fiend, hey, how you doing? Hey, Evans is in the house. Thank you for joining. You kind of lose focus on what you're doing. Remember, I said originally, people used it for business purposes, connecting with friends and family. A lot of people had said that, yeah, I just do it so I can stay connected. Some of my friends that live out of town, or post pictures so my family can see my children and things like that. But now, I don't know what the hell be going on down these timelines and stuff on a daily basis. You have the memes of people that are getting belittled, these twerking videos, these schoolhouse fights, and it's all devilish behavior. And what is this? Because I'm kind of old school. What is this dance that people on this challenge, this Kiki thing? What's the meaning behind that? Because I haven't had time to even research it. But now you go through and you see people doing this little dance routine and doing this dance. So it's just all types of madness going on, and which always makes me wonder because Facebook is quick to put you in Facebook jail when you're promoting, you're trying to get the word out about what you're doing. If you share it too much, they throw you in jail. But these fights and things like that can be shared millions of times, and they have millions of views, and nothing seems to happen. I don't get it. Saying, okay, yes, it's okay to take a break from Facebook. Facebook is hodgepodge of everything in the world. And yeah, it pretty much is. And nowadays, it's everybody's news. Like if you want to find out something, you say, hey, let me go stroll through Facebook. If it's a major or incident happened, you go to certain people page because they posted about it and they talked about it. It's just to me, it's the devil and it's out of hand. And then even when people find out about you losing a loved one, you don't get that phone call from a close family member to tell you, have a seat. We got to talk, or when you get off work, come by, or something like that. You see it, R.I.P., R.I.H. To such and such. It's just cruel, and people have no form of privacy. They don't have any filters, and it's like anything goes. So it's totally it's totally out of control. So I just I don't know how we can make it better. I doubt it. I mean, people always say they're going to take time, they're going to get off of it. I know when I wrote my book, Cocktail Conversations by the Controversial Counselor, I really jumped off of it for like 6 months. And really during that time, I might have picked in on it here and there, maybe once a week, but I had deactivated my account and I never stayed on there for longer than 10 minutes because I had that goal set in mind. So it's a huge distraction, and I think some of the stuff is done purposely, and we have to stay focused. Even again, when you talk about relationship wise, what is it doing? The images people see, and some of these people pretty much be on there naked and just doing their own thing, and people seem like they're just losing their minds based on this. So Facebook is a blessing and a curse. Yeah, it is a blessing because also again when we talk about business related, and the information can just travel and circulate so fast you can reach out to masses of people quickly instead of mailing off flyers and or out on the streets putting flyers on cars and doing things like that when you're trying to promote a brand or a product. Now you just share it to people's page. You can create invite pages and different things. So it does have good components, but I don't know if most people are using it for that. They use it more of it's their entertainment purposes, and again, like anything, anything pretty much goes on there, and that's the sad thing that some things should be filtered. Well, I always say they should charge for it, and that might eliminate the non-serious people about it. But hey, who am I? So we're gonna, I just wanted to kind of lead off with that information. Now we're just gonna kind of go all over the place and remember, I based a lot of the topics that I'm going to talk about, and I got some scenarios in here too that we're going to go through, hopefully brainstorm and talk about. But a lot of it came from Fine and Schneider, the queens of dating, the do's and don'ts of dating. And uh, one of the things I always ask, and, sometimes I'm guilty of it, but uh, I often wonder why do people still are still friends with your ex on Facebook after they broke up with you. And I'm not talking about exes from 5, 10 years ago. I'm talking about the one you just had that conversation with. Y'all decided that it wasn't going to work out, or either that person did something that you didn't agree with, they cheated on you, or they got you in a rut and you decide it's time for you to make a move. I often wonder why do people still remain friends on social media. Now, when I posted that, what's going on, Dre? When I posted that, people were like, well, you're adults. You can still remain friends with people. You don't have to not be their friend on Facebook just because you broke up. No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that because you can still be friends with people without social media. The only thing what it's going to do is enhance and make you see, especially if you were hurt by that person. Who wants to constantly uh, go down your timeline and you see that person posting, probably boasting about certain things, and then only a matter of time before they actually start posting pictures of whoever they're with now. That's hurtful information. Why, when you're trying to work through this, why do you need that constant reminder? So I just wonder why do people still go about it like that? This was an amicable split, no harm, no foul. How many times do we have amicable splits? Really? Because I think if it was that peaceful and went out like that, then hell, you might as well still, you still might as well make a go at it and keep working hard. And I know sometimes some things just don't work out. I just don't see too many things going ending up as amicable splits. That's just me. I could be wrong. Who am I? Only the council. So this what Fine and Schneider said. Remember, I'm going to use these ladies, whatever. Older, probably older Caucasian women who wrote. They wrote another book, Rules of Dating, that they came back with. They got multiple books, and then this one is for the digital age. Arlene Major, how you doing? Uh, so they suggest that you block him or her. It prevents you from seeing photos or their activities. Again, like I just touched on, that you don't really. I think it's hard to try to get past someone when you got constant reminders of them every day, and more than likely, they're gonna post something and act like their world is still going on. It's even better without you, and meanwhile, you may be the one suffering or hurt. If the relationship ended badly, they may post things to upset you. Yeah, if y'all went at it, well, thanks, Arlene. If y'all went at it and it was like a lot of squabbles and stuff like that, they're gonna know that that's gonna be. They may send subliminal messages or post things, and you know they're talking about you, and maybe their friends and some other people may know. So again, why go through that? Block them, remove them from your world, and try to work towards rebuilding yourself. But I know that's hard because we got a lot of lurkers, and we're glutton for punishment, and we still have to just peep in just to see. And I think it does more harm than good. Zilla, how you doing? You see Carter Ellis. Um, and also, I guess if you block it, it definitely will limit the temptation to lurk on his or her page, because I guess if you block somebody and you activate them again, you only can do that so many times. I think they uh, may allow them to stay on your page for 3 days, or you can't undo it for some days. So it just, I just think that may be the easier approach to do instead of constantly seeing them over and over. What do y'all think? It's just, I just wonder, like, and people like, oh, act like they got solid friendships on Facebook. I mean, again, you could be friends. You just don't have to. You could be friends from afar. You just don't have to see, again, pictures and see what they got going on every day. I don't think that's beneficial for you. How you doing, Donna? Good evening. Also, what they said, and this book was mainly for the rules for you ladies. And I tell people I know who my audience is, and it's primarily ladies. I have the guys. They pick up sometimes. Some days, some weeks they're better than other weeks, but I know how it is. The Kiki dances from a Drake song is just people dancing. It's cute. Okay. There may be some people doing it. It may be cute, but I done seen some people, and I'm like, okay, what is going on with them? But okay. Um, like I said, the queens of dating, Fine Schneider said, when you're dating digitally and you're online, and they said you should wait at least 24 to 48 hours to confirm a friend request from a guy that you like. What's your thoughts on that? So basically, they're saying it's a guy that you've been checking out, and maybe a guy you already know, but y'all just got connected on social media. Fine and Schneider said for you to wait 24 to 48 hours before you accept it. I guess she's saying don't be. They're saying don't be thirsty as soon as he sends a request and you like accepting it right away. that's going to let the guy know, like, man, that was quick. So some guys will um, pick up on that, and they'll, they'll feel like they have the upper hand. So I guess they say you can sweat it out a little bit, because obviously they may be feeling a certain way about you, and they're thinking like, okay, if you make them wait a couple of days, they'll be thinking, man, she must be really busy, or man, maybe she got somebody else's on her mind, or something. It'll just keep them guessing, and I guess he'll probably move different towards trying to, get with you, other than you accepting the friendship 5 seconds later after they send the request. Just me. You can do what you want to do. Some part when I posted this earlier, like on the weekend, someone said, "Oh, they want to accept it real quick because they want to start going through the page, start to get to know the person, and start forming that dialogue." So some people may take that approach, but I'm just telling you what the queens said. The queens, and they said make them sweat a little bit, 24 to 48 hours. All right, all right. Also, some of you ladies, and you're probably saying, how is this connected with social media being the devil? But we know a lot of times how people are meeting and connecting is mainly probably through some form of social media. You may see somebody out, and that's one of the questions now people ask. You know, you can, because some people don't want to, they don't may not give you their number right away. So one of the questions you might ask, are you on social media? And people may respond, yeah, I'm on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me such and such, and then that's when the dialogue begins. So they're gearing this conversation in their book based on that because, be honest, this is how people are hooking up for the most part. And one of the things I want to know, have you ever made the first, ladies, have you ever made the first move with the guy? How did the relationship play out for you? Because these ladies, I'm gonna say young ladies, because they're older and they're wise. They say a woman should never make the first move on a guy. Never. They went to the extremes of saying you don't even want to flirt, or if you're out somewhere having a couple cocktails, to be standing near him. You don't even want to give off that energy like you're interested in them, because their whole thing is it's about the chase from the man. And nowadays, we have women that are ultra aggressive, and with that, sometimes those relationships don't turn out the best for them because you have some guys just that take advantage of that. I don't know. I think me personally, I'm kind of mixed on it. Of course, as a man, you want that conquest, but also I think it's a self-esteem builder uh, for guys as well to know someone. Maybe flirted, dropped a nice little hint, and let them know that I'm interested in you. So I don't know, Fine Schneider. I'm kind of on the fence with it, but I think it's the tactfulness in the way that you go about it eventually will determine how the man will, possibly treat you in the long run. So that's that. Malik Bozeman, how you doing? Y'all got any questions or concerns? Have any of you ever made the first move on a guy? And I know during when I posted it on social media, I had several women said they had made the first move, or they know some of their friends made the first move, and they ended up marrying the guy. So again, like I said, I'm kind of on the fence with. I think it's just the way that you go about it. Donna Lewis said, "Don't act desperate and thirsty," and I think that's basically what it's about. If you do little uh, subtle little hints and things like that most of the time. But again, then again, sometimes us as guys we're kind of slow and we might not pick up on those type of nonverbal cues. But you know, if you've been around in the game, you can kind of tell when someone you know likes you or not or interested. And I think it's cute ways of doing anything. Anybody got any little secrets that they use that if they were single, how do they show interest in the guy? So for him to kind of pursue you, Big Al Wooten, what's going on, Al? So that's that on making the first move. Now, when I posted this, I don't know, some ladies might have got irritated. No, I don't think they got irritated. They were just explaining because what I had said is a nice hairdo is one of the first things some men look at with a woman. So why are so many women rocking wigs? And of course, we had some people say, well, men wear wigs too. And I guess they do. I just think it's rather strange. I mean, I'm sorry. Once my hair started thinning out and it was time to go bald, you just have to let it go. You just have to let it go sometime. There's no need to have the little ring or bowl around your head with a patch of hair and all that, or the receding hairdo going back like that. Like prime example, I usually don't try to throw shade at somebody that's ultimately successful. But we all know LeBron needs to get a haircut. He needs to start rocking baldies. It's time for him to let it go. He's still holding on to it, and you can do the Beijing and all that stuff. Even to me, for us guys, when you get older. Hey, almost 50, and your beard is all gray now, and people dyed or beard dyed every other day. It is what it is. You just have to, and sometimes it's the upkeep of the way that you keep it that ultimately makes you look, distinguishable or decent with it. So, and back to it. I change things up, and you don't have to be worried about, having paying for a $400 hairdo. Damn, that's a lot. So sometimes you got to pay that much. I don't blame you, but different things like that is the reason why they were saying. But before we go further into this subject, we're gonna. I gotta go pay some bills right quick, so we're gonna take a quick little time out, and we'll be back momentarily. And you're listening to the Controversial Counselors Corner on wmskonlineradio.com, the home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show. And I'll be back momentarily. Come on, ladies, while y'all really wearing those wigs. I know they've been around since forever. Um, but what if your man told you he don't like wigs? How you gonna handle that? If he'd rather for you to have your regular hairdo, natural hairdo, curls or twist or whatever they call it, And that's how, and because sometimes you women ask, what do you like on me? What do you like? What do you like to see me wear? Or how do you like my hair? And if he tells you, I'm not feeling those wigs, what are you gonna do? Because I know y'all have opinions about your men when you say, "Oh, I like when you have a full beard. Oh, I just like the goatee. I don't like the clean face look, or whatever the case is." Then y'all expect us to kind of, um, you know, follow suit and go by your suggestions. I think gray on man is sexy. Okay, now down you're gonna have a whole bunch of dudes going out there finding some gray dye that goes that way, because that'll be the next thing. Like I was seeing women with these gray wigs and long gray, I don't know, weave. So there'll be some guys that say, man, women like guys with salt and pepper beards and gray beards and stuff like that. So they'll go out and do that. There'll be some fools that'll do that. I can't help it. Mine is just gray. Here it is. It is what it is. And I done had gray hair since I was a kid. My grandmother used to just say I was wise. We're just taking a little break. It's hard when you're up here talking and it's for 2 hours, so you gotta break it up a little bit. I'm gonna start taking callers, definitely. When y'all think y'all ready for callers, but I know for my last show I had, it depends. It went up and down. Some days I would have a lot of callers, then some days it would be only a few, but then I would have a lot of people tuning in. But they, I guess, I don't know, maybe was afraid to press the one to come in. So I don't know which format is better. Y'all tell me. Yeah, boy, prefer getting we salt and pepper is delicious. I don't want things Beijing on my skin. So funny. Said you don't want all that crap on you. I hear you. And that shows you when I was reading it, I said Beijing, Beijing. And I'm like, that shows you I have no idea, never thought about that. Beijing. It was so funny. My barber was trying to get me to get that. And I'm like, what is it? He was like, oh, you do it. Um, you don't have to get it done all the time. I'll color it in. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm good. Because the one thing I realized, you can't be Father Time. It is what it is. I know they make a lot of things. There's a lot of treatments you can get done, procedures, and there's surgeries for weight loss and all that stuff. But there's something about not doing it naturally, and you just can't defeat Father Time. Dye transfers. You have to explain that to me. Dye transfers. What is that? I know what it sounds like, but kind of break that down because I'm ignorant to that dye transfer. Just give me my regular hair and you shape it up and all that stuff. And let's go with it. once a man is just for men. Yeah, I admit I have put that. I have experimented with that a couple of times, but then even then, I just don't have time for that. And I think it looks stupid for you to have a jet black beard one day, and a gray beard the next day. It's like you're fooling yourself. I just got a lot of hang-ups, so don't worry about me. Towels and pillowcases destroyed. LOL. So yeah, see, Wanda, if you come with that Beijing, she gonna spot it out, and you probably not gonna get any. You probably gonna lose brownie points with that, with her, if that's what you're coming with. Especially if you're 60 years old and you got a jet black beard. That don't even look right. You heard me, fellas. That don't look right. Even in your 40s, uh, and your hair is jet black, and your beard is jet black, you just look like a fraud, an imposter or something. Doesn't look right. And the silver fox is the move. Silver fox. What do they come up? Where do they come up with these names from? All right, we're back live on the Controversial Counselor's Corner, and you're listening to my show. I am the Controversial Counselor on wmskonlineradio.com, the home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show. So, we left off talking about men liking women with nice hairdos, and what's up with the so many women rocking wigs. What's going on, fam, Maricas? Uh, so again, several women said they do it for several reasons, and I wasn't when I put it out there. I wasn't being insensitive to anyone because I know there's different things that go on. Like someone came out and said, she had been in stage 4 cancer and lost her hair, and that's the reason why she wore wigs. Well, I have, nothing but respect and admiration for her, and trust me, to go through something like that, you can wear what the hell you want to wear, any color that you want to wear, and I have nothing to say. It can shine on, and you beautiful as ever because of the fact that you went through some things that many people may not go through. So, then they have alopecia and different things like that. So I understand, I get that. It may be just the ones who, as the younger people say, just be so extra and doing the most with, one minute they got short hair, the next minute they got a wig is down to their ass and stuff like that. I just think that's get carried away, and to me, kind of, I don't know, got like I would say you kind of got like an identity problem or something. You just don't know what you're comfortable with, and I don't know how many men would say, "Oh, I look cute, baby. Okay, go ahead and rock that one." It's just like costume goal, fool's goal is that's to me. I think it's taking it to the extremes when you carrying on like that and you're wearing and you're rocking it to the extremes with the different the different styles. And also, some men they say, yeah, just because some women say, it's just easier. But then I would say, well, what would be the difference of someone who out and about and every time you see them outside of work, they just wearing flip flops, something to put on, being lazy, just grab your flip flops at the door. Same thing, I'm about to run out, let me grab this wig and throw it on. I just think it should be a little more, I don't know, cohesiveness or some type of plan that you got going on instead of just locking different colors and different lengths and all that stuff every other day or every day. So again, that's me. If y'all got anything you want to add to this piece, I just wanted to know on why is that so. All right, this was a true or false thing. And remember, we talked about women stepping into guys. And some guys may be turned off by that. Some guys, they know if a woman steps to them, they may feel like, okay, they got an upper hand in this, and they may, play their cards a certain way. Tanya, Taylor McTravis, how you doing? So it was saying true or false. When you ask a guy out, he may say yes to be polite, for sex, or boredom, but he will drop you for the woman he likes. Do y'all think that's true or false? Because sometimes, and we all know, and ladies, y'all do it as well. Sometimes you have those people. I forgot who said it, but I don't know who. It might have been from the show. Or it might have been something on one of my posts. But they said some people are just placeholders. That they're just there for the time being until that right person or that certain person comes along. So you may get that from some men as well. If you step to them and they feel like you're easy work, then they may do it for a while. They may hang out with you. It may go on for months. But then eventually, when they find that person that they want to put that effort into, and they want to wine and dine, maybe you want to court that person, or then you may get dropped. It's sad to say it, it's always that question going around: can you have a relationship with someone you had? Um, if you were able to have sex with them after the first night. So, you know, some guys look at it like that, like, okay, if she did that with me, how many other people she did? Maybe this is her pattern. Or sometimes if you flip it around, maybe you was just that dude to her. So, um, you might want to think that you might have had something to do with it. But again, you just want to be careful on how you approach the situation. Okay, Yolanda Bowles, thanks for joining. So again, true or false? Do you think he'll drop you eventually for the woman he likes if you decide to press him? You can always chime in later. I'm gonna move on. Now, remember when I originally came on, we were talking about social media is the devil and how people connect, and you meet people on different sites like classroom reunion and different things like that, and it may be someone you haven't seen in a while. Well, I'm going to talk about this scenario, and I just want to hear what y'all think. In fact, I got several scenarios, so I like to try to change it up a little bit. So, the no texting rule. And that's a big thing going on too. Like people want to, if you go out, should that be a rule to put your phones away? No texting in my presence. We're here to have a good time and enjoy each other. No cell phone rule and things like that. So here we go. Jenny and Doug hooked up after 21 years since graduating from high school. Doug was in town for business, and Jenny stopped by his hotel room to have dinner and drinks. One of Doug's favorite forms of relaxation is unwinding and watching sports. This evening, March Madness was on, so during the time Jenny was there, Doug was texting one of his boys talking about the great games. Jenny thought Doug was being rude because she was ready to get it in, but Doug never wanted to give her the impression that her visit was all about the sex. Do you think Doug was rude for texting? Okay, who else got on there? Mirror, how you doing, Mirror? So again, two people haven't seen each other in 21 years. Clearly, she was single or had something going on in her relationship that she wanted to kind of step out and be wild and adventurous. Then you have Doug there for business, chilling in his room, watching March Madness. Ladies, if you got a guy, you know how it is with March Madness, especially the first couple rounds. Games come on at 12 o'clock. They probably go off at midnight. So that is a time that guys are constantly, switching channels and they're into it. That's one of my favorite things, March Madness, one of my favorite sports settings over a lot of Super Bowl and all that. I love the March Madness and the passion that the young collegiate stars put out there. And so you have this guy, he's all into it. She comes by, they have drinks and dinner. She's ready to give out that work. He's texting his boys and kind of not paying her attention. She's upset and pissed off because he was texting the whole time. So do y'all think Doug was rude for texting, or do you think she was out of line for even coming to that man's room, considering the fact that she haven't seen him in 21 years? Who else got on there? Shakira Coleman. Hey, how you doing? So talk to me, people. What do you say about this? Or what's your thing on the no texting rule? Is that one of your requirements that when you go out on a date that you don't allow the person to y'all make an agreement before you go to not text while you're in each other's presence? Eric James, Easy E. So y'all talk to me about that. But if you got any questions or any feedback as far as that, we'll go back to that. Just drop me a line or something. If you got something to say regarding that matter. And this is Keisha Pruitt. What's going on? This is another thing that if you're just joining us, I was talking about this book that I got a lot of do's and don'ts from, and this is from the new rules, the dating do's and don'ts for the digital generation. And believe it or not, we are in the digital generation, and these ladies, Ellen Fine and Sherry Schneider, wrote a lot of books about dating and the rules that women should follow by if they're looking to find a husband. And some of you will say, I'm not listening to them old damn ladies. What do they know? What color are they? That was a different time. Rules are rules. Rules are rules. They work no matter what. Despite how what we think about it or not. I learned that from and I always bring him up, Dr. Papalardo, shout out to him, my first counseling teacher. He said, and he had like old articles from counseling, and we were like, man, this stuff is antique. He said, this stuff doesn't change. It doesn't change. It was set, the foundation was set. It's going to carry on from here to the end of time. And that may be the same way with rules of dating. sometimes the stuff don't change. We try to um, evolutionize stuff and make it different, but sometimes you just got to follow the simple rules. Phone usage should be minimal. And I know some people have to keep it on or check on it if they got younger kids or something, or they're still at that age that if something goes on, you want to know for them to reach out to you. So I get that and I understand that. Lisa Reeves, how you doing this evening? So uh, here we have it. Like rules are rules. So they feel that, and here's another one. Like they feel like they want to know how many of you clean out your closet every 2 years to have an upgrade in your wardrobe, or are you still wearing frumpy clothes and basically trying to catch? So how many people do go through and have like a spring cleaning and kind of change up your stuff? I heard certain people say that everything they buy stays in style, so there's no need for them to do that. And like they different, and some styles come back, but during that time, some things just don't look right and maybe out of season. And trust me, women, y'all know when you see a guy with some busted shoes or some antique kind of shoes that was out back in the days, that could very well be a deal breaker for you. And y'all, you may be harder than guys is with women as far as clothes. But I guess what they're saying, sometimes, if you just got out of a relationship and it was a long relationship, you may need to rebrand yourself. You may have to look in your closet. You may have to say, hmm, I guess when I go back out, get back out into this dating game, I'm going to have to step it up. I'm going to have to wear maybe some clothes that show a little skin, a little cleavage, uh, skirt or a dress that show some skin. I ain't saying be like you at the strip club 24K or something, but you may have to appeal to what men like and not what other women like. Because too many times when we decide, oh, we're gonna go, you're gonna, you decide you're gonna go out shopping, and you take your friend with you, and she's like, oh, that looks real nice on you. It's not about what she thinks. It's about what do you think that a guy is gonna think. So sometimes you're gonna have to go through that inventory, and I know sometimes it can get expensive, even when you lose weight and that stuff, and you have to buy new clothes. But I guess at the end, are you gonna feel better about yourself, or do you want to stay around in them old frumpy clothes? So again, you got something to add to that? Please chime in and um, let me know. All right, scenario time again. Since y'all didn't give me too much feedback on the last one, we got this one, the chat line. Remember again, we're in the world of digital dating that people are using all types of means of connecting with people, chat lines and different things, and that's where we're at. So, gotta mind me of that. I get, don't mind me, don't mind me. All right, let's go. We got Charles. He worked 3 to 11 at General Motors. And it was typical for him to come in the house, stop in the bedroom, and kiss his wife Ellen on her forehead while she was sleeping. He would head to the kitchen, warm up his dinner, grab a cold Corona, and head down to his man cave in the basement. He would get caught up with the world of sports on ESPN, or maybe just check out a late night game, depending on what night it is. Charles was a frequent visitor of the Tango chat line, where he had a membership. He loved to browse the line and connect with different women all over. This particular night, he decided to connect live with this particular woman. During the conversation, they shared sexual pleasantries, which led him to moan and groan. His wife, Ellen, happened to wake up this particular night and walked to the top of the stairs and overheard Charles in a state of total bliss. Should Ellen confront him or should she take her ass back to bed? Do you consider this being unfaithful? Again, how do y'all view what he, there are several ways that he can kind of look at this, or we can look at it without, just automatically assuming that, or he was just up to no good. We don't know if she has some type of medical condition, like somebody said. She may have, she may give him permission to do that, but it makes me think that wasn't the case because she was at the top of the stairs, kind of checking things out and seeing what he was up to. So anybody got any feedback? First of all, do you consider this being unfaithful with him going on the chat line? You know, some people will say that, that's just the start of it. If that person's local, he could end up hooking up with her, or maybe it's just like a fantasy he's trying to fulfill. I don't know. What are your thoughts about it? Billy Rowe, how you doing, brother? So, talk to me about what do you think as far as that particular scenario. And if you're someone who enjoys my post, you're a member of the Counselor's Corner, which I kind of post stuff and then I talk about it on this show, the Controversial Counselor's Corner. And hey, reach out to me, support a brother, and get the revised copy of Cocktail Conversations by the Controversial Counselor. And that's one of the things too when I talk about social media being the devil, because you have a lot of people that show extreme hatred for people that's trying to do something. Typically, if somebody reach out to me and they say, "Hey, David, could you support this or that?" I try to sometimes with all that I try to do, sometimes I may forget. And if you're someone who has reached out to me and I told you I would get your product, then make sure that you hit me back up and let me know, and I'll definitely want to support because this is the only way that we can turn things around for ourselves when we start helping each other out. I mean, I know there's great authors that wrote books and they already they have their fan base of people that's going to buy their books that's coming out. But when you're an independent author like myself, which I was the 2017 author on the rise. I know it's 2018 now, so that lets you know I got to get in and put some more work in because that's getting a little old and stale. It's time to get back on it and hit those labs and come up with some new projects, which I have been thinking about, and I will make some moves toward that. But again, we have a lot of people that show a lot of hatred. I never get it or understand. It seems like when people are posting, people have all the love for people who passed on and went about their ways. You get more likes and stuff like that once someone has passed. But I wonder how many of you reach out to these people when they're alive and let them know that how you feel about them or whatever the case is. Because once somebody has passed away, there's nothing. It's a little too late, and we have to do a better job of showing each other appreciation while we're alive. We have to do a better choice of getting getting the malice out of our hearts and supporting one another and uplifting one another and stop putting all our energies toward trivial stuff, stuff that we're liking and sharing and stuff like that. But okay, I kind of ran over time. I'm going to take we'll be back briefly, and I'm going to go pay some more bills. And you're listening to the Controversial Counselors Corner on wmskonlineradio.com, the home of the show, Underwood Morning Show. And we'll be back momentarily. How you doing? Hope all is well with you. You never laid us off good. You know how the conversation flow. We just talking about the social media of the devil. We're talking about little different examples, forms of how it could happen. I was talking about this book that I was reading, The Do's and Don'ts of Dating for the Digital Age by what's her name? Helen Fine and Sherry Snyder. In the digital age, the roots of digital dating. So people, what's going on, Reverend Charles? How you feeling, brother? People, what y'all gotta say about not Charles who just joined us, but Charles in the scenario chat line, coming in, work late at night, going on the chat line while his wife is sleeping. What's y'all take on that? Do you consider that being unfaithful? Don't be alarmed. I'm gonna step away. I'll be right back. I'm still on a little time out, so I'll be right back. A couple more scenarios for y'all before we end the show. We got about 39 minutes. Oliver T. Reed, what's going on, brother? So we're going to break down that. Y'all can give me some feedback about Charles, the General Motors worker, and him using his overutilization of the chat line while his wife was sleeping. Talk to me, is that being unfaithful or not? I'm about to get back to this. Ramon, sincere, how you doing? Come back live. All right, we're back live on the Controversial Counselor's Corner on wmskonlineradio.com, the home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show. All right, so we're talking about the chat line. So none of y'all didn't have anything to say. So I'm assuming it's okay. So we'll move on. Now this is something I always said and stand firmly about relationships having a better chance when you're not friends with your mate on social media. Uh, give your honest opinion. And I know some people will say, "Oh, that means you have something to hide." I just think again that it saves a lot of commotion and a lot of misinterpretations that happen and things that you really can't control what other people do once you go viral. So again, you may say, well, you know, you have to check people, and if they respect you, then they maybe won't. Uh, they'll respect your page, and if they know you have someone, they will limit some of the things they do. But then again, you remember we said social media is the devil, and we do have some people that say they don't give a damn if they want to holler at you or if they want to throw shade or whatever. They're going to do what they need to do, and they don't care. But to me, overall, I just think it saves a lot of confusion. And I'm always going to say, when it's two individuals that's busy, and they sometimes you have goals together, and sometimes you have your individual goals. And if you're working on your goals, you ain't got time to be thinking about what's going on Melvin's page or whoever. You simply just don't have time for that. And you don't get caught up in that. It's when you don't have time, when you just work your regular job and you have no hobbies or no other passions, then this is what you're going to get. You're going to want to learn, you want to nitpick, and you're going to want to do things like that. And I think that's when complications come. Deanna Thompson, how you doing? What's going on, Brother Frederick? Um, Something to think about. What do you think? Relationships have a better chance when you're not friends with your mate on social media. I'm gonna stand by that. That's my take. Because here's the example of why on this scenario. This scenario is called "So Fine You Blow My Mind." And you know that was sometimes I get my one-liners from like songs and stuff. But here we go. Tyrone posted a picture on Facebook as he was getting ready to attend a work function. His friend Tammy commented on the stat on how good Tyrone was looking. And her and Tyrone went back and forth, sending compliments to each other. Sheila, Tyrone's girlfriend, responded on the stat asking, "Who the hell is Tammy? And why is she sweating you, Tyrone? And she needs to get her own man. get on her own man's page to compliment him and stay the hell off of mine. Who was wrong in the scenario, and how would you have handled it? So again, you have a couple. Uh, you have a couple that together, they're friends on social media. Tyrone is getting ready to go to a work function. Looking dapper. And I wish I was on your shoulder, which, again, she's trying to probably ruffle a few feathers and see what she can get with him. And in secret, she might know some insides about Sheila and the reason why she came with that approach. Tyrone girl gets on there, lurking on his page while she's at work, then comes in and makes that comment. Uh, so all the public can see and read what she's saying. So now she's looking real insecure. Got their relationship business all out there. When simply, if she wasn't his friend, she wouldn't even knew about it. Or she could have just said, you know what? Oh, I'm gonna check his ass when he get home or whatever the case is. But see, it's those little misinterpretations that, Tyrone may come back and say, you know what? We joke like that. That's just my girl Tammy. We grew up together, or we grew up on the same street. I've known her for years. Her brother was my homeboy, and stuff like that. But Sheila jumped to conclusions, got her emotions all tangled up, and went and made that post. And now she's probably looking stupid, and Tammy's probably saying, "Hey, unless he blocks me or unfriend me, I'm gonna make comments every time since this is the way she's carrying herself." So I know when I posted it, um, you know, even some guys said Tyrone should have took that conversation to his inbox, whereas the women leaned toward saying that Tyrone shouldn't even have like this. That was going to lead to further conversation. Frederick said, it's a catch-22. If you're not, it's been stated you may have something to hide. I beg to differ, but certain people act like, but really can't handle social media. And I agree, Fred. They can handle social media, and that's one thing. I always make parallels to adults and then with children. So I work at a middle school, and I'll tell them all the time, I can't handle social media. It's too much for you. And there's adults who can't handle it. They have no self control. They have no ability to. They have no filters. They don't know how to channel it, and they lack emotional intelligence when it comes to situations like this. And like I posted a few hours ago, many times people say, it's only Facebook. And I hear a lot of women say that. And I'm not picking on y'all, but it's the truth. They say it's only Facebook. So I said, if it's only Facebook, why do y'all get upset when you have other women commenting on your dude's page or saying emojis with hearts and stuff like that? Remember, it's only Facebook. It's only Facebook. It's not real. Well, we know damn well when people say that, they know it's real to them. And Facebook may be an exaggeration of what people really have going on, or maybe some of the things they want people to perceive that they have going on. But it's all the way real, good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, it could be fake, but it's real live stuff that's happening, and it's breaking up relationships, and it's causing friction. So anytime something is controlling your regular routine or daily activities, oh, that shit is all the way real. It's real. So people can stop dismissing things and saying it's only Facebook when it's more than that to you, and some of you live by it religiously on what happens and what people got going on. And again, I always say, during the holiday season, I make a post, and I say to people, just be mindful of others who may not have certain things. I don't see the point of posting all the gifts under your Christmas tree and stuff like that, because there's people that hurt during the holidays. They may lost a child, they may have lost a parent, and things are just not the same. And I know some of you may say, well, they should stay the hell off of Facebook because I'm happy, I worked hard for mine, and I want people to see it. And I don't know if you have people have to see all that. You know what you got, your children know what you got, your significant other, husband knows. I don't think it's no need to boast and brag, but people do that because some of them really want other people to feel bad, and I think it's wrong. Gene Harris, how you doing? Gail Price, what's going on? So that's just, I just think it's just too much, and people they do it. I don't know if they have good intentions, because then you have other people saying, "Wow, I just seen such and such. They went on this trip. Why don't you know?" Then you have couples comparing. Why don't we ever do this or that? Well, they always going somewhere, and we don't do anything. And then you have people trying to live beyond their means because what they see other people doing. And I get it. People are happy and excited about some of the things they worked hard for, but sometimes it's a little, have a little humble pie, and you don't have to brag and boast about every, um, little thing. Trust me, when I put something I'm doing, I'm my intentions is to put it to show people that if you work hard, good things will happen, and hey, follow my lead, or maybe if it's something I can help you out with, I can do that, something to that effect. But not every little thing or possession I'm gonna go around and post it, because I just know there's people that's on there and they're living their world through others, and it's painful. Letitia Wiley, what's going on? T. Lee, Swanda, you're back. What's good? Like you said, those that boast and brag really don't got it, and those that got it don't brag and boast. Facts. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, I forgot I'm not much of a historian when it comes to rap recitals. That would probably be my brother, but I forgot which rapper has said. Something like "Ain't Tricky, You Got It" or something like that. And I think that's a quality point you made, that Fred, that people who got it, they don't have to do it because it's easy for them. They're used to it, and then sometimes people kind of boast and brag, and it's not going to change. People are going to be people, and they're going to continue doing what they do because they have a platform to do it. Whereas before they didn't have a platform, and now it's the opportunity for many people. They feel like it's their time to shine, and they're damn sure will make sure that they do it. Others, maybe, know how to eat a little humble pie and just be modest and just go about their business. And you know, when they feel it's a need to post something and the masses could benefit from it, then they utilize it. But again, back to the other point with what's her name, Sheila, being all on her man's page. You got to back off with that. You don't never bring people into your business virally because of your insecurities. You should be happy, hey, like that's my man. Like you should have said, you could have came with a different approach, but you did, and now Tammy knows that you're weak. All right, we got Anitra. What's going on, Anitra? Felicia, how you doing? All right, so we got that. And again, I'm gonna tell you, and people may think that different, and they say it's not about social media being the devil; it's the people that's on it. And we got this scenario called "Can You Blame Me?" Matt and Jackie have been married for 15 years, and they have, three girls, ages 13, 11, and 9. Matt was head over heels in love with Jackie, but lately she has not been feeling the same about him. Their relationship was growing stale, and Jackie wanted someone to loosen her up. Get someone to loosen her up. Wonder what that means. Hey, Felicia, good evening. One day she was going through her email, and an alumni high school site popped up, and she said, "Oh, what the hell? Why not sign up?" Once she became a member, she came across Lonzo, a guy she had the biggest crush on in high school. And I know some of you, hey, Mitra, I know some of you like, that's high school. How old is she now? But some people still relive in the past. And if it's a conquest they want, then they say, oh, this is my opportunity. I always liked this person. Now it's my opportunity to maybe capture them. But anyways, when she realized that he was single, she decided to message him. And to her surprise, he told her he had been hoping they would connect somehow because he was feeling her but never said anything. They started communicating on a regular basis, and Jackie started feeling more comfortable and told Lonzo she was not happy in her marriage and does not like sleeping with her husband. Once Alonzo heard that, he took that as a hint that she had needs that were not being met. So one day he got bold and emailed her a picture of his manhood, and she returned the favor. There was one thing that went wrong. One night she forgot to log out the computer, and Matt clicked on the picture, and boy was he surprised what he saw. Jackie woke up to a two-piece combo and a biscuit on the side. Every time he thought about it, he would increase the combo. Did Jackie deserve what she had coming to her, or how should Matt have handled the situation? Now, let me make this disclaimer. Not by any means, making fun of someone because that was definitely the domestic violence. It was just the way that I conveyed the message. But we have to understand that sometimes, again, when we talk about the word emotional intelligence, sometimes people just can't handle certain situations. And remember, Matt was over overly head over heels in love with her, and she just didn't feel the same way. I don't know. Maybe she had three girls. Maybe she was a stay-home mom, and her life consisted of getting the girls ready, cooking, cleaning, and things of that nature. And she never felt whole with that role. And meanwhile, Matt was being a breadwinner, going to work, coming home, probably doing the same thing, cracking open a cold beer, sitting back in his recliner chair, watching the evening news, maybe ESPN or whatever the case is. And she was so bored and sexually, she felt like they wasn't compatible anymore, and she just felt the need to, go on this site and ran into somebody that she had the biggest crush on, and they kind of engaged in conversation back and forth. And we know that this stuff happens, and it can lead to, uh, domestic violence. And trust me, both of them played a part, but he could have simply said, you know what, I'm going to walk away, or woke her up and said, we need to talk. Tell me what's going on. But he just kind of unloaded on her, which wasn't cool, and still wasn't going to change the fact that they still have an issue, and she's still gonna, she's still gonna still felt the same way, and maybe she was even felt even his chances were even worse now. These little chat lines that that people go on and they use. Donna Lewis, you're back. Alicia, thanks for joining. So, what is your take on that, people? You got anything to say now? And if you don't have anything to say, I just know that you're just being quiet because there was a lot to that scenario. There was a lot going on, and it's just and it's real. And again, like I said, when I said two-piece combo, I mean that's just some slang or boxing terminology that people use, but he kind of unloaded on her, and which we want you only can wonder how it played out from that point forward. But I guess the moral of the story is again, sometimes people you're unhappy and you end up going on these sites and you end up getting yourself into more than what you can handle. But you said when feelings are involved, reality is the last thing on that type of individual's mind, and that's true. You may blank out and you may lose it, but we know that it could be more detriment from responding like that than anything because hey, she called the police. And guess who's gonna get walked out the house and they're gonna probably the state is gonna pick up charges, you know, and then who knows what position he had at work. He can end up losing that. And she's gonna be up shit creek without a paddle too. And it's all because she decided to go on one of these chat lines, so the devil, and began to converse with someone from years ago that she had a crush on. So see how that works. It's just sometimes it's no good in these type of things. All right. We got a couple more things going on. We got about 16 more minutes on the controversial counselor's corner. I got some more stuff to throw at you. All right, ladies. And I pretty much got a consistent answer from most of the women who responded. But the guy, he wants to take you out on a Friday evening. When does he need to ask you by so that you'll strongly consider going? Now, some women said Monday or Tuesday, and a great deal of them said by Wednesday. Somebody even said Wednesday by noon. I just have a hard time believing that uh, a guy has to ask a woman that many days in advance. I'm not checking for that. I didn't say anything when you posted it, but according to Fine and Schneider, you ladies did. You answered it the way that it should have been answered. Where they said that a guy should, if it's a Friday date or Saturday, they should contact you no later and ask you no later than that Wednesday or Thursday. That way to give you time to prepare for it. And also maybe to make arrangements if you have children or whatever the case is. So they were saying that would be legit. It was like never accept the day of, because that lets that man know pretty much you don't have shit going on. And I hate to say it, and I know, not saying y'all women who responded, y'all may have the world going on, but I guarantee you, there's a lot of women that you can call up the day of, an hour before, and say, "Hey, what you doing?" Or inbox and say, "What you doing tonight?" Nothing. I don't got nothing to do. I ain't got no life. Yo, let's go to a movie, or let's go grab some drinks and grab something to eat. Okay. I ain't washed under their arms or nothing. Um, and they ready to roll out. So Fine and Schneider, I get what you're saying. It's the considerate thing to do, but you also to that hour before um, phone call to say what you doing, and they say nothing. You're about to come still. You may dispute that. If that's the case, please do. But that's just my take on that particular situation. All right. Then we have um, other things that Fine Schneider they said sometimes. So you said you agree, Felicia. What are you actually agreeing with? Are you agreeing with me saying that you know that many women will go out the day of if a guy called them 2 hours? Or you agree that Wednesday or Monday is probably the typical time you should ask somebody to go out on a Friday evening? Down to the last minute out of the question. It was like I was an afterthought. And I think that's what they were trying to say. Like, don't put yourself in a situation that you're like a last alternative. Well, he didn't have anything else to do, so he called me up. And then you cave in and say, okay, what time you coming to get me? Because again, if that's the case, and he does that on a regular basis with you, uh, then he already knows that how to play his hand with you. But if you are a rules girl or a rules woman and you say, no, dog, you got to let me know ahead of time because I got to rigmarole my schedule. I got to make sure this or that. I'm always going to step out looking nice. Um, you need to let me know by Monday. Guaranteed his ass will be on point and he will make sure if he really wants to see you that he makes that deadline. I know, fellas, you probably like, damn, man, quit talking so much. You kind of giving them the heads up. No, it's just real talk. The thing is, people can know stuff, but you got to be able to execute it anyway. And sometimes people get caught up in their old ways that no matter what you tell them, they're gonna follow. They're gonna go back to what they're used to doing anyway. Consideration is great, but moments come when you're ready to move at that moment. It also depends on who he is to you. And I think that is the point. If you want to spend time with this person and he means a lot to you, and you always have a great time with him, or you even may know that he's a last minute type of thing. He may work late and a lot of times things just don't be on his mind and he decide, okay, I want to go grab something to eat and maybe have, a couple drinks or whatever the case is. He may, and you know that you're his ace in the hole and he'll say, what you doing tonight? And you say, oh, I don't got nothing, what's going on? Then he know he can count on you. So it's always counter moves to that, so it's not written in stone that he's necessarily being the jerk, but according to these young ladies, that they feel like never accept those offers, and if you are, then eventually just don't because that's what the man will come to expect. So, hey, who am I? I'm just a counselor. But also another thing, how many of you get super excited about a relationship that you forget to balance spending time with friends? And I think that's another issue sometimes that people go through. You're all throughout when you were lonely, You were hanging with your, especially if you both were single, you were hanging with your partner and crying. Y'all were doing everything together. Then all of a sudden, when you get with your little new boo, your new, you forget all about your friend. You know, the little concerts that y'all used to attend. Now you're attending those with Melvin, and you're doing everything with him, and you don't have that balance with your friend. Well, I hope the one thing I hope if you're doing that is that you eventually that you end up staying with them because sometimes again that could be the decline of a relationship and people could be turned off and say, "What the hell are you calling me now for? You know we used to do this every year. You know every year we went to that wine tasting event. We did it for 10 years in a row. Then all of a sudden you got him, you and him go, and you don't invite me or whatever the case is. So just be careful. Always have a nice balance to everything. That spontaneous dates are okay sometimes, but not every time, especially if it's a new relationship. Hey, Jamie, thanks for joining, and Tanya, thanks for joining. I understand what you're saying, Donna. I guess with a new relationship, you kind of sometimes it seems more scripted, and you want it to be more. It could be a casual date, but you want to be asked formally. You want that respect, and then if you're dating for a while, it may be one of those spontaneous things like what you doing tonight? You should throw on something. Throw on this outfit. Well, not that particular outfit, but I got somewhere for us to go. But this is the dress code. You got something like that. Well-versed woman will have it all for every occasion. So that's something to think about. But again, always keep a nice balance with your friends as well. All right. About 7 more minutes in the controversial counselor's corner. Kiera, how you doing? Does anybody else have anything they want to add? I got a couple more things that I'm going to go through. We just talking, just regular adult conversation. Disrespectful. What was disrespectful? Talk to me, Felicia. Uh, so, question to you ladies: when does your new boo or man? When does your new boo get the invite to the family cookout? What determines your time frame? I think somebody had responded earlier. They was like, when there are kids involved, uh, it's going to take a little while, but typically they said maybe 3 or 4 months. That's when he might get the invite to the cookout or outing. But then sometimes that person, you may not wait that long, the 3 to 4 months. You may think you have a hold to something good. So in this scenario, you have my man Johnny Blaze, and he had Tierra has been dating Johnny for about 1.5 months. In the past, when she was invited to her friends for a social get together, she would be the only one dateless. This time, she has decided to take Johnny while while there. Johnny was standoffish, rude, and did not socialize much. But he damn sure got his drink on. Due to his behavior, Tierra was the laughing stock amongst her circle. My question is, when you are dating, how long do you wait before you bring someone you are seeing around friends and family? Is there a standard check needed? Um, it looks like Johnny Blaze failed that test. Uh, Tina Matthews, how you doing? Said, what did you miss? Oh, you missed a whole lot. You know you need to come on here from 9 to 11 on Monday nights. But basically, we was talking about the initial conversation was social media being the devil, and I just talked about different versions of how things play out on social media, and then I've been going through some scenarios. So, but I definitely appreciate you taking the time to stop by. Now we got about 4 minutes left. So what do y'all think? How much time does it take for you to invite someone over to meet your friends, family, children, and kind of what's your screening process? What determines that? And I know there's no right or wrong answer for this. It depends on the individual. It could be someone that you knew for a long time that you start dating, but you've known that person for a while. So it kind of runs the gamut on when it can be. Donna said, after I get comfortable with that person, observe how he acts in social situations. Tina said a few months, but even then, you ask the person if they are comfortable to be in that setting. And, that is true. Sometimes you have people that are not very talkative, they're kind of shy, and you may be someone, it's your family, you're moving around, you're talking to everybody, and he's kind of sitting there and he doesn't initiate or know how to initiate a conversation. So he may be someone that's very clingy to you, or it may be someone to say, well, uh, she kind of left me to fend for myself, and then they start getting loose, start drinking up something, and then they cut a fool. So I think that is a good thing to ask. Like, are you comfortable? Always give a person a way out. If they say, I'm not really comfortable yet, I still want to, eventually get to know you and how you move and what makes you tick, and then I think I'll be ready to, you know, meet your family or go to a social gathering like that. Uh, Tina said, I had guys that invited me to family functions within a month of me meeting them. I respectfully declined too early. And that's a good way to do it too, because you're still getting to know that person, and damn sure probably want to know about those family members, because we always know there's going to be some family member that's going to say something out of pocket, and you don't want that person you're with uh, to kind of catch them off guard, and as well as both of y'all feeling uncomfortable because you really don't have control. But if you've been coached or told about a certain person, you might kind of know what to expect. So we have like 1 minute left, so we're gonna get ready to wrap things up. I want to definitely thank everybody who tuned in to Facebook Live or checked in on YouTube. I will be posting the show on my different various social media outlets. And again, everything is what you make it. So even with the title being the social media of the devil, we know there's some good and bad to everything. It basically comes down to how you utilize it and your purpose for it. If you got good intentions and it can be a brilliant thing to use and definitely something that's worthwhile. But if it's all about joke time and being malicious, or you don't have good intent, then you know you don't get exactly what you're looking for. So with that being said, I am out. See you next week. This is your boy, the controversial counselor, on the Controversial Counselor's Corner on wmskonlineradio.com, the home of the Cheryl Underwood Morning Show. And I'm out. Peace.